We live, people.
Yo, what it do? Another episode. I'm not even gonna lie. Which episode is this? Episode 5 now?
4, 5.
I
Well,
think so.
I think
no,
it's 5.
5.
I think we
5.
got
Yeah.
4. It gotta be 5.
Yeah, I
Episode
think it's
5.
5.
Congratulations. We made it this far. And we got a long ways to go. But we are back in this thing. Let me pull up the Discord real quick. My bad. I was doing a lot of things. We got my good friend. Making sure. Nope. Wrong way. Croco's Corner over there, my good brother Niall. And then down below,
You're,
we got
you're.
brother Terrence T Smooth 24. We in here about to talk about all of your animated movies, cartoons, comics, mangas, everything under the sun that you could think that would be nerdy. All right, so first thing we was talking about was gonna be, I feel like a mainstay, a main. What's the word? What's the word? It's really something that's really just, I feel like got the community divided too. It's a
Mm.
great series. It's called Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mm.
A lot of people was pissed about it because of the what happened in this episode.
I hate the show.
From here on out, if you are not up to date, if you haven't watched the most recent anime, or haven't heard or read the manga chapter, it's gonna be spoilers going forward. Just
Spoiler
to let
alert!
you know. Just to let you know. All right, so let's talk about the episode at least first before we get into the real nitty gritty of it, because it was a whole lot of words again in that damn chapter. But
You talking about the anime or the manga, sir?
the manga.
Okay.
I said there's too many damn words in the chapter, nigga.
I'm just saying, you were talking about the anime first.
I know. All right. Damn it, nigga, you made me lose my train of thought. Anime is going crazy because a lot of people don't like that Nobara got clapped.
Oh, God. No, not my baby.
Listen, I don't understand why people got this. I feel like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto was too good for these niggas. Hunter x Hunter was too good for these niggas. None of these niggas. I don't think none of the main characters besides Gon's teacher actually died, and the old nigga. But they
Wait,
didn't.
hold up. Homeboy got packed up in the manga.
Who?
Hisoka got packed up in the manga.
Oh, he did.
He got packed up in the manga. Kronos. He finally fought Kronos. Got packed up.
Oh, that was at the
Mm-hmm.
shit that they never showed in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
My son's sitting there like looking like a burnt cracker in the back of the stove.
I thought he survived that. All right. Well, outside of Hunter x Hunter, I feel like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, and even One Piece, it's been too soft on y'all new anime fans, nigga. This is where anime is the greatest. When nobody is safe, even the main fucking character.
I got one.
Clap them all up.
So I have an anime. I don't know if any of y'all seen it. That literally represents what we're dealing with right now with JJK. How you're saying people are soft with, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Have you ever seen Agami Got Killed?
No.
Yep.
No main character is safe. You cannot love no character. When I tell you from episode 1, one character gone. Episode 2,
Yeah.
another character gone. You can't have ties with anybody. You be like, oh, yo, he dope. Within the last 2 minutes, he get clapped, and then the end of the scene is him dancing to the outro of the song. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, that is. Yeah. Nah, I like when it's like this.
I don't.
I do. I kind of like when it's. I like when it's like this, but where I do hate it is when it feel like it was wasted or was for nothing. Like it's just you did that. You ain't even. There was no justification with
Look.
that. It didn't play a part in the role and anything, and I just don't feel like that's the case. With JJK here, I feel like it hits you. It come out of the blue and it's blindsiding, and it's like whoa, but ultimately they gonna make sure that it like make a difference. It's gonna count. I do believe that. And even like that's not even like any like manga spoiler or anything like that, because we just like I don't know, but I do believe
I think it
I
already
do
counted.
believe that it will.
I think
How so? Go into it.
it already counted because at the end of the day, Yuji, he had to have amassed some type of power up either through his emotions, through watching his teacher
Goku.
get clapped in front of
Yeah,
him,
Goku.
yeah,
and
I do agree.
one of his best friends to get clapped in front of him as
Goku.
well. It
Yeah,
because it wasn't after Nanami got clapped, that nigga was on 10 with his ass, and before Yuji wasn't even even
yeah.
capable of keeping up with Mahito by himself.
Mm-hmm.
See, my problem
Yeah,
is like, go ahead now. My bad, man.
no, you go.
I was gonna say like, I felt like this was a waste. Like, granted, yeah, I know what happens in the manga, but the way it's displayed for people that don't read the manga, it's like she did all that work with the double, putting in work, smacking him, everything to the point where it was helping Yuji fight the main Mojito. Like just start bodying him, giving him hands. I was getting remnants of when Gojo was fighting Homeboy and JJK Zero. Literally giving that black dude straight hands, causing a racist crime. But I was okay with it because it's Gojo. But in that sense where they're running and she comes down, she sees Yuji. I wanted her to at least fight. Like, if they would have gave us like her fighting him for a second, and then he touches her face, I've been cool with that. But she just like stood there, and it was like,
Yeah, I don't know. I saw somebody else. I'm not sure who pointed that out, but I saw somewhere, and this might even gone back when it was said in the manga, and I had saw it, but somebody just said it was really weird how she was doing such a good job of preventing herself from being touched
yep,
when she was fighting the clone, but then the moment that it's two of them, which should have been an indication that like one of them is probably the real one, like that should have been a trigger for that, you would think. She just kind of froze up in that moment.
we lost him.
Oh,
I knew it was gonna happen. Well, let's keep going while.
yeah, it popped back in. Oh, you.
I should just bugged out. My bad.
But yeah, no, I think when that was pointed out to me, I thought that was still kind of weird. I'm like, I thought about it too, and I'm like, it is kind of weird because she just got there. It's like I saw Yuji, but you still see Mahito running, dashing towards you.
Even still,
Like if he doing it is, yeah,
even still, the double didn't have his ability. The double only was able to do so much.
right,
So she didn't. Honestly, she didn't have to worry about getting touched by the double. The double was like trying to give her the
Right.
hands. She touched.
That's who she was avoiding.
But no, I get that. But at the same time, remember, she had her arm slashed, everything. So he did touch her.
Mm-hmm.
So that double could not do the same abilities as the original Mojito. But when he came
Yeah.
downstairs, she didn't realize that, oh, she can't be touched by him. She didn't experience him blowing somebody up like Yuji did when he saw Nanami get blown up
Right.
or touched. So, with
But she still knew. But she still knew though.
That nigga named Mahito. Nigga saying Mojito. I'm getting thirsty over here. Stop it.
who is saying that?
You. You just said Mojito like 2 times. nigga.
Mahito, Mojito, tomato. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's mad close that I ain't even gonna lie to you. You could say both, and I probably wouldn't even notice. Honestly, you could switch back and forth, and I really wouldn't even notice because I ain't even peeped that.
Well,
Nah,
my
but
thing
you-
is, Sage is just a jerk about that. He already knows. He knows what I'm talking about, but he got to correct me. So shut up.
All right, it was just funny. It was getting me thirsty. I'm actually about to get me a drink. But nah, but like we don't even know that she's technically necessarily dead. We don't even necessarily know
Yeah.
that she's dead. Because anybody who did get clapped, they very abundantly, clearly stated it. And I'm pretty sure in the manga, they stated that it was a slim or a possibility for us to be able to save her. It just depends on if she ended up getting brain damage in the process of that, or just got the
Right.
eyeball popped out.
I'm just saying.
Also-
Which I still am not against. I'm still not against the idea that she did something to herself before it happened. It's a really weird panel. It's a weird panel in the manga.
Mhm.
It's a weird panel in the anime. But like she don't immediately turn, so it always leaves. Even if it could be nothing, it could very well be nothing. but it leaves you to just kind of feel like there's a possibility, like maybe there's a chance, you know, that she did something in that moment. And I don't know, I'm still gonna hold on to the idea that she did, and whatever she did is what's gonna be used to explain how she didn't get like brain damage or such. But I really do wish that I do agree with Terrence. Like, I kind of wish that there had have been maybe a little bit more of a confrontation. I still feel that way even after.
Yeah, it was kind of bittersweet. I mean,
You know,
she did pull her weight, but at the same time,
but
she
it just was like you was killing it with the clone.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
Or I would have been okay with if she like took a swing at him and he dodged it and then touched her. I would have been okay with that.
And then touched her face. Yeah, like it's just I wish it kind of. I agree. Like the energy that she had with the clone, it felt like in this one moment, all of that was just like separate. It was just like it kind of like it felt like it split the moment. It felt like it did in the manga, and it felt like it did in the anime, where you got the one moment. I could keep up. Like and you know what was cool about that whole fight to me? She clearly wasn't stronger than Mahito, but
she was smart with it.
Like they did a good job, right? They did a good job of making sure that still showed, but that she was, you know, getting shifty.
So
she was kind of doing her thing.
This, like, I remember I had this conversation with Rob a long time ago. I even had this conversation with my boy. I saw JJK as a poor man's Naruto. Now, this is where it goes back. Nobara was actually having her moment. She was packing boy up, doing what she needed to do before she got clapped, right? Sakura had her moment against that puppet ninja when she was fighting one of the Akatsuki. She finally really had her moment in that shine, but she didn't die because, like you said, the Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff. But you got to look at it. Nobara is literally Sakura in the sense of power level, and like Megami, that's Sasuke. That man can do whatever he wants. He got everything under the sun. His family got some crazy ability. He's able to do like bring out Maharaga, all them. Yuji got some demon inside of him that could take over, but we already know the demon inside Naruto is a little kitty cat. Like, he was able to tame him after like 200 episodes. So when it comes to like you see Nobara, I'm like, I feel like I've seen this before. Literally, once I'm watching that fight play through, I'm like, I've seen this before. But then once she got clapped, I was like, wait, hold up. That's the only difference. She actually got clapped in the end. But I don't know. I just wish they could have done more with her fight.
I get what you. That was a great comparison that you made, though, because it's so funny that you bring up that Sakura fight. When I saw that Sakura fight live, I remember saying at the end of like the entire remember when the old lady who was helping Sakura, when he was facing the puppet, like at the end, what was it? She passed away, but in the process, she like helped Gaara or whatever, restored a little bit of his powers. Whatever happened at the end, and all of them were sitting there before they left. I remember watching that part, and I was just like, Sakura should have died. Like Sakura, this story would have been nuts. Like I believe me, I understand how Naruto went on, and it's fine the way that it went on, the way that it did. But I remember in that moment thinking like this story would have hit for everything that happened with Gaara too. Like this story, this would have been the craziest arc like I seen in a minute in anything ever. If Sakura actually had died at the end of that. And it still is a good arc. It still is real good storytelling. But like you said, JJK just kind of like they did that, and then now it's like they did that, but they also it's like if you were to take Sakura and give her the Toby storyline after they did it. It's almost like they did that, but then made Toby as if you took Toby and made him a good guy though. But put that same scenario where it's like you think the person dead. They not really dead. They got a hell of a power boost. It's like the whole Toby shit just mixed. Just for a good guy. You know what I mean? Like for a good guy. That's how That's how I'm at least feeling like this is set up to be. Again, we have no confirmation of that. Just as with Toby for the longest, we had no confirmation of that. Like we was like, I think that that's Toby. I think that. Remember when that reveal came? Do y'all remember that?
Oh
Like the
yeah.
live reveal when Toby. Remember that? That was like a thing. It was 2 times. It was Madara, and it was Toby. And at first we had thought, because for a while we thought that Toby was Madara, but then we started as we got closer and like deeper into Shippuden, we was like, nah, I think that that is Toby. Like I think that Toby, or I think that that is Obito. Like that theory came out, and then when we got the reveal, we was like, we knew it, but there was still that question, right? Is it Madara? Maybe it's not Toby. It's not Toby at all, or maybe it's not Obito at all. Maybe it's Madara, and it was the Madara train, and the Madara, like everybody was on that. And it's like again, it's a villain, it's different circumstances, but that's where I feel like we are with Nobara. And to Rob's point, that's why it make the idea, and that's where I've been able to get on the train with a pause if needed of Rob's idea though more, because like it just makes so much more sense to look at that character and think of that character from this is planned for a, it's like that bittersweet feeling of it just kind of come out now. It's like, yeah, everybody thought she was out, everybody thought to count her out. It's the same. I don't know how to explain it, but it's the same way that Obito was. It's like this character who had this sense of justice, right? They get taken out of the story. It's mad messed up how they get taken out, right? But they still get they shine in the end, and they ended up having a really important role. And like I said, I started looking at it. Rob, you kind of you walked me into that with the, like, in a sense with the, okay, but do it make sense for this character, for this to just be the end for this character?
Gentlemen, I'll be right back.
Like how everybody was saying that, how everybody was saying that with Obito, like it don't make sense for this to be the end of that character. You was kind of hitting me off with that with Nobara, and now I'm just like, it just makes so much sense. Like Sukuna, he gonna need another handicap at some point. You can use her to do that.
Probably
Again, exactly. You probably need a couple handicaps, right? And I'm of one that I believe that Yuji is getting assisted via these curses. That it's like, even if if the series, if the narrator, if nothing is acknowledging every time that Yuji has these moments, whether it's the moment with his grandpa, or whether it's the moment with what's his name, Rob? The one that Mahito killed before Nobara. Nanami, whether it's that moment with Nanami, whether it's the moment with his grandfather, still feel like there possibly was something more to that in his training that we'll see as like a flashback with Gojo, where Gojo kind of left that impression on him as well. And then this kind of plays credence into your idea, curse of love, because all of these people are doing these things out of love for Yuji. Like, it's like when Nanami was looking at Yuji, he wasn't looking at him out of a place of like, I'm trying to put a burden on you. It was really from a place of love. Like, yo, you finished this off. You got this. I believe in you. Like, I know you believed in me, but I believe in you. And his grandfather, same thing. I know you believed in me, but I believe in you. And it's hard. Everything is against your back, but I believe in you. Like, if in some way, shape, or form that plays into that idea of curse of love, and all of these things have been nurturing in Yuji in some form or in some way that it's a power up, come on. And then, like I said, if they throw a flashback of that with a conversation that he had with Yuji, or that he had with Gojo, I mean, and then not just the conversation that he had with Gojo, but like, let's say that Higurama get packed up right here, which is probably gonna be the case because it's Sukuna, right? Yeah. So let's say Higurama get packed up right here. Maybe in that flashback, Higurama said, yo, I only had a little bit of time to see you, but from what I've been able to see, like, you know, you really got a good heart, yada yada yada, all that typical shonen stuff, right? And then we get to see how he left his love, he left his imprint on the curse of love for Yuji. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all. I don't feel like none of that is taken for granted. I think all of that stuff is supposed to culminate, and then the one person who didn't die, who did that with Yuji, kind of did it with Yuji. It's kind of weird, right? Because Nobara, did she do that moment with Yuji when she covered her eye? Like when we saw it in the anime most recently, she covered her eye, or when she was like looking at him after the flashback and was like, "Let everybody know, like I had a good life." Did she impact? Did she leave something on his curse of love in that moment? Like that's what I was trying to think about over the last 2 days. Was did she maybe even leave an impact on his curse of of the quote unquote, like you said, you
Right.
framed it in love, and yeah, and now I'm starting to hold on, let me close this one thing out because I think my computer freaking out.
I think it makes sense to be
Yeah, my
honest with
computer
you.
freaking out. But yeah, I
It'll be
I
the
think that I really think.
it'll be the perfect opposite to Sukuna, and that's would be the only way. You have to have the other extreme on the other side of the spectrum. Kuna is a fucking extreme. He's a cataclysm waiting to happen. Just calamities one after another type of thing. So you have to have something extreme on the other side in order to balance that out. I feel like they Jujutsu Kaisen or Gege has talked about it throughout the series, like the the idea of balance. When Gojo was born, cursed spirits actually started to get stronger due to the imbalance that Gojo provided into the world, into the sorcery world. So I feel like Gege has always, or I feel like this balance is a mainstay type of thing. Obviously, Yuji is only as strong as the people around him. So the difference with it will be in this day and age, where Gojo, I believe, was talking about it, where he wished that he could, his friends was like a pivotal key, more so a pivotal key. Like he was flustered after he lost Geto, and that was the only one that he could actually truly really see as a friend, somebody that he could confide with, somebody that wasn't afraid that he was the strongest or looked at him a different way because he was the strongest or anything like that. They just respected each other. So I feel like on top of that, they spent half of the damn episode doing her damn flashback. It ain't no way. This was right before she got clapped. Ain't no way they about to just go do away with her character at that point in time. Is no way. I refuse. Hello. Oh, okay. Well, I'm in here by myself. I don't know. I think like we having some technical difficulties. Not gonna lie.
Whoa, my fault, Rob. It.
Yeah, this shit tweaked out. I know.
Oh.
Back there.
Yeah, it lagged out and then just froze up. So I'm not gonna open Twitch along with it. But I'll just listen to whatever is like whatever videos we pull up. I'm gonna just pull it up on my phone so that way it doesn't like overload the Discord video.
So what did I miss? Sorry about that, Chuck.
Well, my laptop froze completely, so you ain't missed too much. But um basically my summation though, since now that we got everybody back, I'll just kind of recap that real quick and real short.
Hold your thought 1 second.
Yeah, I'll probably recap over that.
Oh, we'll get back up later. But, we can talk about the manga now. Just so we can keep in the flow of things. How
Okay.
you feel about the? Oh wait, hold on, real quick.
Okay.
I heard something about Yuji's powers, where that punch it vibrated Sukuna. I think from eating the curse, the other curse death blows, other curse, or whatever the fuck they was called. He gathered.
The you talking about his brothers?
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that some of them, if not most of them, had the blood manipulation powers. So his scales on his
Yeah.
arm that we seen that elongated his arm and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was actually blood manipulation. The same to a certain extent where we seen Choso fight him in the anime,
Yeah.
where I didn't even notice, but he was able to use it as like a defense or use it as a punch. He was able to use it, I think, on his knuckles or his hands as well to make counter punches.
Yeah. Now that you mention that, it is very similar in appearance, I believe, too.
So I think that
So,
might be some.
did he get another? All right.
That was from him eating them. So he ate the other
Who?
ones that the cursed
How
death
do we
painting.
know how many? Yeah. Do we know how many cursed death paintings there were?
I don't. It was three. Yuji killed two of them. Yuji and somebody else killed two of them. Choso was another one. Yuji is technically another.
And all we know is that there could be more, right? Or did they
They
guarantee? Did they say? Did
they
Kenjaku
had
say like he made?
they had the rest of them in the jujutsu high school, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah. So then he would. That's exactly probably what it is.
Hmm.
Now here's my thing though. That explains the hardening. We know that his punch is super strong. Do you think that within the hardening and within his fist is like internalized energy from that black fist that he has? Is it something like that?
That's a great question. I have no
Because
clue.
why would blood hardening alone reverberate Sukuna?
Hmm.
Well, I mean, you stack that on top of Yuji already being like
Super strong. I'll give you that's still
with the
strong,
heavenly
but
restriction. That's
but
just amplifying his capabilities.
right. But remember how you had pointed out to me in one of the videos back, way back when we were talking about Yuji and Sukuna, how Sukuna has that same similar heavenly restriction that we've seen in Maki and that we've seen in Yuji. So it's like even if you took his heavenly restriction, okay, boom, then you combine that with the reinforcement of the blood manipulation. Okay, boom, I'm rolling with you that that's strong, but enough to vibrate Sukuna. If you told me, I feel like something else would have to be mixed in there just because of who we talking about.
Yeah, they might have more too, because it looks like there was nine total death paintings.
Death curse paintings. Wow.
Yeah,
So yeah. Do you think that Chozo would have just been cool with him absorbing them? I mean,
Hmm.
I do in one sense agree that he would probably be like, my brothers need to be reunited
they're all
with their
brothers.
brother.
That's the
Yeah,
only
I
way
do.
that they'd be able to that his brother Yuji would be able to survive.
Yeah, and it's like the brothers supporting each other. I do lean on that as an excuse as to why it can happen. But I also think it is kind of weird to be like, yeah, we just gotta eat the rest of our brothers. But the wild part is too, at that table, was that table that we saw in the flashback. I need to like go back and see it in the anime how they presented it because I'm sure they had a wider screen and depth for it.
Hmm.
But if in that table is longer, that could be more members that was sitting there because I'm not sure whether they showed like a little short table or picnic setup in that flashback. But if it was like if there was more that was shown off screen, then maybe those were actually brothers that we like they could actually identify too and explain how each one of them are helping Yuji currently in this fight. But even if not, like you said, you could just leave it as simple as there was six more paintings. Yuji ate them. Now he mad strong when it come to blood. You could just leave it at that. You're right. I don't know. Do you want them to explain more on that? If that is the case, or do you think just leave that alone and you just want to learn more about the other curses outside of
I think
the kids?
I think this is where they're able to flesh that out. Where Gege has kind of like mastermind manipulated the fuck out of this story. Where that it's kind of like a domino effect of something is shown that's a earlier domino in the domino effect, but then
Mm-hmm.
later on down the line you have another domino that kind of like coincides and brings everything together. I feel like we're gonna get a hand era flashback. I feel like we're gonna get a flashback, or at least Yuji talking with Choso about his different brothers and their unique techniques, because it seems like all of them except for Yuji were born from Noritoshi Kamo.
Yeah, the Kamo clan.
So all
Is
of
that
the,
is that true though? Is it all of the, is that the case for
yeah,
all of them? It's all blood.
the women had 9 pregnancies and 9 abortions, but all records surrounding this and the woman would be destroyed in time.
Mm,
At some point in time, Tokyo Jujutsu High was able to secure all 9 of the death painting wounds.
mm.
They used constraints
So yeah, it's all blood manipulation
and stored them inside, or certain forms. Because I feel like each blood manipulation, each user uses it to
in a
certain,
different way.
different, unique way type of thing. Yeah,
See,
like
and that's gonna make me say Yuji getting, because think about this like this. Maybe that makes sense why they showed us. You got, yo, this is a great topic. Maybe this is why they showed us Kashimo the way that they did,
Mm.
right? Because they're trying to illustrate that if you take a person and you give them a specific ability and you let them maximize that to its fullest extent, the capabilities that it can bring. And that might be Yuji with blood. So now you making me question. Well, now you kind of not question. You answered the question that I was just about to ask y'all. Would y'all be upset if the only curses that Yuji absorbed in order to fight Sukuna were all just the blood painting curses? Like it wasn't anything else or anything to offer anything else. Do you think that like, I guess you answered it because you saying that will be fine if they utilize the blood in the same way that they utilize or lightning or electricity with Kashima, and they just
I
which
wouldn't,
is like,
I wouldn't be mad because we still don't know Yuji's.
I don't think I am either. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I was just about to say. Like, I don't think I am either because I think when you culminate all of it with Yuji, he's got the blood. Now, if that's the case, he's got the blood curse manipulation, right? He's
Right.
got whatever his innate curse technique is.
Possibly
He
so.
got, which again, I mean, no cap.
He might.
Like,
He's trying to be a heavy hitter up in this.
here's the thing too is Sukuna is going to probably end up being the answer for us in regards to if you could have more than one curse technique. We probably going to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
If put it like this, if they do go in that direction with or whatever his name is, Hagamura, whatever the judge dude's name is, or the jury, Higurama, if they do happen to go in that curse technique route, which Rob, you made a lot of arguments as to why that probably or could not at least be the case. But if they did happen to somehow, Gege did figure out a way to write that in where you could have multiple curse techniques, then it's the idea of, okay, time out. Is this curse of love that you talking about, Rob? Is that something that comes from his dad? Because his dad was like mad loving, and it's like, is this a ramification or a curse that he gave Yuji and like genetically that he passed on, and that and everything that we've been seeing is a trait from his father's, a trait that came as a curse as a result of his father, and he has another dormant curse technique that's more in line with his mom's, that's maybe tied to the anti-gravity or whatever.
Or it could be just between the two, between Kenjaku, because technically Kenjaku was the one that was pregnant
Right.
and gave birth to Yuji.
Right,
And
right,
a mix of his father. So like the Kenjaku
right.
side is the cursed death painting wombs and all of that jazz.
Or like something that extends off of that now once he's absorbed the curse wound paintings, it's been able to kind of like unlock that or whatever, but it almost presents itself as like another technique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then he has his
Yeah.
human side where he's able to possibly soul swap from that quick manga panel that we seen of them training right before Gojo and Sukuna fought,
Mm.
Right.
where it looked like Yuji was in his homie's body and vice versa, and he was like,
Correct.
I guess trying to figure out how to work and use innate techniques. So he could possibly have that, and a possibly
There's that
don't believe
angle.
anything.
There's that angle. There's I didn't even think about that, but I'm glad you
Yeah,
just
he
said
got
it.
a
The
domain.
domain. Right. I didn't even think about that, but you're so right with that. There's the idea of a domain expansion. There's what you just said, with that, but then there's also the other angle to that you can't forget is the whole memory implant thing. Like we haven't seen it in a
That actually
while.
is.
but there's how that has evolved or how that's gonna play. Like you said, Rob, he like because it's Sukuna, a lot of these characters is probably gonna be pushed to the brinks. So it's no telling out of all of that what's gonna be like elevated or evolved too. You know, like what happens if he get on the brink of death and then that memory power, it evolves.
Yeah, he still ain't evolved yet either. Yeah.
And then there's no telling how all of this plays a part into that black fist that he has, because is that grounded or rooted at all in his soul power? Is it intertwined with it? Is his innate curse technique, which we don't know of, is it somehow intertwined with that black fist? How is that the case? Is he punching the soul out of people? Is he punching memories out of people? Like what? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So his powers, I guess, of soul swapping. I guess one of the underlying effects or things that he's capable of doing is actually targeting someone's soul. He can actually see the soul, especially when he's been sharing his body with, which we found out from Kenjaku or Mahito that the soul and the body is one. He's been sharing his body this whole time with a whole nother person.
yeah, which an extension has to mean the soul as well. So like
he was able to make contact with Mahito when nobody else was able to do any attacks that would damage him.
Well, what's so funny is what Sukuna said to Mahito. It was like, it's so funny because Mahito was so obsessed with that idea of touching Sukuna's soul, and it's like, well, Yuji's been doing that. Yuji was swimming in the idea of doing that. So it's like, what even is if his power is soul? What do you get when your power is soul and you've been eating the soul of the strongest person ever? Like, what do you gain from that? What is he? That's what I'm saying. It's so there's so many questions around Yuji. That's why I'm like, now I'm so like, I don't know. I almost think Yuji is overpowered. When you start stacking all the things that's been presented to us, I almost am starting to feel like he is. Like, I'm almost starting to feel like, yeah, like he should be enough to face Sukuna himself. If you take all of those things and like blossom them. But again, now you got to say, okay, well, is Yuji to the point where you could are you comfortable? Is it comfortable writing? Is it comfortable for fans to even receive the idea of Yuji surpassing Gojo like so easily? And then that's where again you kind of go back to what you were saying about Nobara, where it's like, well, just introduce Nobara doing something as a last ditch glory, and it's like, now it's like you kind of got the excuse of, well, now people can kind of have to, it's up to the fan, it's left on the fan to put in their mind or to have the debates, as we all love to do, as to whether Yuji was actually stronger than Gojo or not, because you had that little Nobara, you know what I mean, scene happen in there where it's like, nah, but don't forget Yuji had that little incident, or like Rob, like you said, it's probably more people that's gonna have to get packed up as well. But yeah, it's like, I think that it's all there now. Like, now when I'm seeing it from the angle that you're saying, and every week we get like more of the things that you were saying as we were coming into these chapters, I'm thinking there's more credence for that now. And each chapter that becomes more and more so the case, where it's like, I don't feel like this is as impossible as it did before. It felt very impossible. Like, Sukuna just feels impossible. Like, when you see him, it just feels impossible. And then there's also I don't know whether we talked about it in video yet, or on, the podcast yet, but I'm very lost as to how Megumi plays a part in all of this. I don't know what y'all got for that.
I think he has to come back at some point in time, because just the same way
I agree.
We're talking about Yuji having all of these reverse Uno cards or draw fours in his pocket right now, just waiting to hammer them shits down on Sukuna. Sukuna got the same type of deck in his hand as well, because there's a whole lot of questions that we have that haven't been answered technically about his techniques. He got the lightning thing with the tool that he was made. He has his fire arrows as well. He has,
yeah, but we still don't know his curse technique. You're right.
We still don't know all the curse techniques that he could possibly very well have. And then on top of that, it was another one that we missed with Yuji too. But Gojo was talking about how Yuji might be able to use Sukuna's technique at some point in time, or techniques at some point in
They
time.
hinted that early on.
Yeah, I was about to say, I really do get a feeling that that little fire arrow that Sukuna throws, I don't know why I have a feeling, but I just feel like Yuji's gonna throw that. I don't know how to explain it,
So you
but I
feel
just
as
feel like he gonna learn that. So now, I think fire-esque abilities he's going to learn, and then now we would have blood and fire,
so
if
with
that were to be the case.
so with that being said, like with his time being spent, like Sukuna being in his body, you feel besides him having like the blood ability, that from what you're saying now is like him being able to throw that, like you have that feeling he's gonna be able to throw that fire, or do you feel like some of those innate abilities of Sukuna when Sukuna went over to Megami is still lying dormant within Yuji?
Uh,
For him to be able to learn it, like he has to have that ability in his body, like still sitting there laying dormant, or is it
yeah,
like a training arc
that's
where he
what's
just
kind of
learns it?
hard. Yeah, and that's a good question because that's the part that's kind of hard to try to figure out. It's like because like to Rob's point, we having to learn so much more about Sukuna as we're learning more about Yuji and what powers he's having
Mm-hmm.
and gain, and then the fact that these two characters were literally like swimming in each other. Like to get like I give you an example. I just said that Yuji, um, I can see Yuji using that fire arrow technique that Sukuna uses.
Mm-hmm.
Before the end of this, though, I could also see Sukuna using Black Fist, like the Divergent Black Fist. I could see him using that same thing if he hasn't already. He might already have,
So
but
my,
I could see him using that as well because of his time with Yuji and with Yuji's whatever Yuji's like dormant power was. But now the thing is, I think that Yuji actually did have something innate in him where he
mm-hmm.
could capture those things. Whereas with Sukuna, it's learned by see. It's not that he has Yuji's same ability. It's just Sukuna is that boy.
Mm-hmm.
So where Yuji actually is doing it from his power, Sukuna is doing it from just he just learned all of that stuff from watching Yuji. Like I learned how to do your fist just from watching you. That's nothing. But now where it's gone, where Sukuna might try to like flex that, it's not gonna be a flex because Yuji would have got so much more
Mm-hmm.
from Sukuna being in his body. It's like, yeah, bro, yeah, you might have learned how to do my fist, but I learned your arrow. I learned whatever stuff we haven't seen yet. I learned
Pretty
all
sure
of these
Sukuna
other
already knows how to do
things.
that too. Divergent Fist
Yeah, I
was
think so too.
yeah,
I
it
think he
wasn't
do
something
too.
that he created. I don't think it was something that he created. It's just
He
it was
didn't create it, right? And it was something that Gojo knew how to do as well. Like we saw him do it, I believe. And yeah, he did it in his fight versus Sukuna, and he left Sukuna stuck for a second. So yeah, I mean, it's not something that you're right is limited just to Yuji, but I think that like maybe it's the memory thing then. Maybe that's what it is. Is that as a last ditch effort, Sukuna imitates Yuji's memory thing, and we learn more about why Yuji can do the memory thing, but that's like the only thing that Sukuna got, whereas Yuji got everything. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? I
Mm-hmm.
got everything. I got all of your dormant stuff, and some, maybe he doesn't have it to the same capacity, or he has it as, like, he has it as skilled or as learned as Sukuna does, but he got access to some of everything. So it's like, if Sukuna, like, I know Sukuna used that tool to demonstrate his the lightning powers, but if Sukuna just had base lightning, like let's just say he had lightning, like even if he didn't have that tool, he still could have did something lightning based as he did fire lightning based against Kashimo, as he did fire based against the little volcano head dude. Like let's say he could have done that, right? Where he didn't do that because he had the tool, I feel like we will see Yuji actually be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's little stuff like that that I feel like now, yeah, y'all got me brewing with Yuji being able and capable to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't like y'all. I just don't know what that is yet because we haven't seen enough with either Yuji or Sukuna.
hmm
Or what this whole soul thing with Yuji, I really do hope that's the biggest question mark. What does that mean?
That's I feel like that's been a main question that I feel like the readers, especially if you read the manga, have been asking for quite some time. And we might, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get unpacked because Yuji ended up reading the whole book about souls that I think Choso made or somebody else made. I can't remember. And they explicitly said that out in the manga, and they explicitly showed it, if I'm not mistaken, in the manga. But they only showed it for a quick glimpse, if not the cover of it, or it showed them telling Yuji that he needs to read it. Regardless, it's a whole lot of things that Gege has just been like building up, and it's kind of like One Piece to a certain extent without the prolonged time in between.
Mm.
In terms of having the first domino and then the second domino fall, One Piece
Yeah.
does it perfectly as well. It's just that you can have something happen in the second season of One Piece, and then they bring it back around like the eighth or ninth season of One Piece,
Yeah.
or the eighth or ninth arc. It's the same thing that Gege is doing. He's just meticulously doing it with certain things. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like a shorter time frame too, so a lot of it is probably just seeming it's more congested, so it's harder for people to kind of like connect them. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
with One Piece, like you said, One Piece is like to give you an example with One Piece, Wano just ended and my buddy was watching Dressrosa, and like one of the plots or like at least character Momoshiki and Ken Kenjaru or whatever his name is,
hmm
something like that, Kenjaru, something like that. But we meet them in Dressrosa, and we kind of get like introduced to like they passion and like thrive a little bit, like a little bit of their character in that regard, and it like picks right back up in it in Wano, and that came out when we was in high school, and Wano just ended like a month ago.
hmm
You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's when you got it like that, it's a lot, especially if somebody like a diehard One Piece fan, it's just a lot easier to see that because you can like, you know what I'm
see it
saying? Like
work.
they walk you through it, right? They
They show like it's
not
working.
only right, not only the new character or the newer character that we being reintroduced to, but also obviously how the Straw Hats play a part in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said with Jujutsu Kaisen, we don't got time for all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
you gonna have to figure out how these plot points connect right on top of each other.
hmm
And it's just like, dude, like that. And that's the thing. That's where I'm starting to kind of get. I'm getting on a similar track with some of the things that you seeing,
hmm
because I could tell that's what you've been doing is you trying to actually connect. Okay, well this happened earlier on, and this is what the author is trying to show us and having this happen. So what is that supposed to maybe foreshadow going into this latest chapter? Be it like what we just heard, y'all know as well as I do, what we just heard Kenjaku say, my like essentially my will to live on or whatever in the most
Mm-hmm.
recent chapter.
Yeah,
um
we all see
like
that.
yeah, like right, and we know that like okay, those words could end up playing a part down the line. We just gotta kind of like, as the story unfold, remember to connect that if there is something that pops up that shows us to connect it. And the things like that that do exist from what we currently have in the story, yeah, Yuji's powers, they just, there's a lot of question marks around him, but he's getting loaded up with powers
So where
that, and it's
no, go ahead, Miles.
nah, I was just gonna say, like, it's not like it's all ass pull, excuse my French, but you can't say that because so much of it has been built up, whether it's in the idea of how the curses are, or whether
Mm-hmm.
it's in what they've told us or expanded on or given us in regards to how Yuji's powers are going to increase. Oh, Yuji's powers are going to increase because he has Sukuna's curse technique. Oh, Yuji's powers are going to increase because he ate all
Be
of these
right back, y'all.
curses. Oh, Yuji's powers is going to increase um because of whatever XYZ. Like they keep giving us all of these different things, and then now we just at the point where it's like, yeah, okay, well I told you my powers are going to increase, here's the actual result of that. It's just like you said, paying attention to the backlog of it all because it is so quick.
Right. So yeah, just a quick breakdown of the recent chapter as well. Higuruma,
Hmm.
all of them were going through their plan on how they were going to combat Sukuna. They already knew how the order was going to be set up. Obviously, they knew Gojo was going first, then Kashimo, and then Higuruma nominated himself to go right after. they came up with, or Yuji actually came up with this plan, which actually caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. Yuji seems like he's just a brawler type of guy, but he actually uses his brain.
Yeah.
It's like,
Nah, like the fight with Mahito kind of showed it more. It's harder to pick up on it in the manga, I feel like. But then when they translate it over in the anime, you be like, damn, yeah, you be like, what the? You be like, that was, yo, he be thinking on the fly, bro.
he's throwing hands, but he's just not throwing hands willy nilly. He's a concerted effort of trying to throw hands in the smartest way possible.
In that moment, who was he fighting? When he was fighting Choso, another beautiful example of that. Everything you saying.
Working with Mechamaru, they came up with the idea of going into the water and everything like that. So some smart shit, some smart shit. But
And if he not smart, somebody smart is kind of like always teaching him.
yeah,
He always has that in his favor. Like that's always there for him in some way.
in some capacity. And so they end up coming up, or Yuji ends up coming up with a big brain idea of just doing a retrial of the Shibuya incident in which Higuruma initially started his domain expansion against Yuji at that time, thinking that he was the one that killed all the people. And instead, do the retrial, and Higuruma was going to defend Yuji while they prosecute technically Sukuna for the crimes, which I don't necessarily know, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know if if Higuruma's gonna seal off one of his curse techniques, because he obviously has many. He doesn't just have cleave and dismantle. If you take it off of cleave and dismantle, he can hit you with a fireball jutsu that levels out a whole entire portion of a big ass city. So,
Right.
what more? I don't know. So I don't necessarily want to ask that question of what do you think is going to happen to Higuruma. My question would be, out of all the people that we have right now, who are you most interested in seeing fighting in this last, I guess, arc you'd say? My person top tier right now, I want to see Maki. I want to see Maki get her shine some more.
I just don't feel like they got enough. That I feel like this is how I honestly feel like it should go. Higuruma and Yuji do a little thing. Rob, I just kind of I keep saying it, and I'm just gonna stick to it at this point. I think Higuruma is going down right like in this. I think that he will have some type of impact. I do not think it will be for nothing. But I think his time, if Kashimo's was wrapped up that quick, his time gotta be quick.
Especially with
So I think by the time that wraps up, that's when well, it's two ways I guess it could go. That is either now we get Yuta back in the fray, and then if that's the case, it's Yuta and Yuji versus Sukuna, and we get that for a while, like the long duration, like how we got Gojo and Sukuna. We get the long duration of Yuta and Yuji versus Sukuna. That's gonna be the next long fight if Yuta can get there without any hiccups or problems. If he does get hiccups or problems, then I think it's gonna be Maki, who would just kind of step in and try to use that. But I think right now Maki's talents might be best whatever this ice person is that's still fighting Hikari. Because I feel like Hikari thought that this character was going to be just like a straight up, like I could get past it. But you got to think about it. This is somebody who Sukuna like considers. I rock with this person. I'm cool with them. They can't be weak for that. They got to be really strong. They got to be really strong. And I think fans want that fight to get wrapped up real quick because they want to see Hikari versus Sukuna. But I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I think the best case is what's going to happen is we going to get a surprise where this ice chick beats Hikari, or Hikari got more work and then Maki got to step in and fight the ice person. That's really what I think is going to happen because we just need more. Even though Sukuna is a dog, I don't think that, again, because of how much my viewpoint in Yuji is shifting. I don't think we need that many people fighting him at once. Like, we don't need Yuta, Maki, and Yuji fighting Sukuna at once. I think Yuta and Yuji they equal more, possibly more easily. You can make the argument for me more than Gojo. You can make the argument for me with all of Yuji's potential. Yeah, the two of them is easily more than Gojo.
Combined together, yeah.
Combined together, come on. With Yuji's full potential.
Yeah, I think Kenjaku, because he got the curse manipulation now. He could have dropped off like mad like special grade curses, just like he did versus Mei Mei in the tunnel recently in the anime. What he did after Yuta just chopped his head off and his eye veins was coming out and everything like that. He could have just released all of them niggas, and now they got a whole army of special grade curses that they also have to deal with. That everybody
At the
else
same
has to
time,
deal
yeah,
with.
that would be. I could see something like that.
Because at the end of the day, that was his whole goal. He wants the Heian era to come back, and it seemed like back in that time, it was just like, I wouldn't say a wasteland, but it was like an outlaw country, like the wild
Yeah.
West, basically.
Yeah.
Like if you were weak, you were getting trampled on.
Do you think that he has like another body or something stored?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I hear people mumbling about it, but I don't really think so either. But at the same time, like, I feel like as the days go on, with just sitting with how Kenjaku went out, it's just something about this just don't feel right. It just don't sit right. It's kind of like,
It was too easy.
bro, oh my god, yo, like, and this dude, he has Tengen in the corner, and you just out like that. I just don't know. It just don't. Like, it's fine. All right, and then here's another question. We talk about. So here's another question. You talk about the will, like his will, and the idea, the possibility of Yuji eating all of his cursed paint, like the cursed paintings that he created. Is it possible that that can infect or curse Yuji in and of itself? Like, yeah, he got the power up that he needed, but in the process, he partially got like some of Kenjaku's corruptness in the mix of that.
Or Noritoshi Kamo. Combination of both, technically.
But Noritoshi wasn't a bad guy,
Nah, he was.
right?
He was.
Was he? Oh wait, time out. Because that was who. That's not the head of the clan that was fighting with Maki. Not that one. That's not the same guy, right? Noritoshi was the guy that Kenjaku took over in the past.
He was the evilest sorcerer in history.
Oh yeah, he could. Oh, Rob, you just solved it. You just solved it.
Yeah, so
you just solved it. You just solved it.
That's why probably Kenjaku was talking like he's gonna be the eye of the storm, because he's corrupted by all of this Noritoshi Kamo and Kenjaku blood DNA technically. And
yeah, Yuji about to turn into that dude. He about to turn into Noritoshi. At the end, he gonna beat Sukuna. Turn into Noritoshi, and then here's the thing: in him, because he has soul powers, and him beating Sukuna, he gonna bring Megami back. But because Megami had to sit in his soul, had to mix with Sukuna throughout that entire time and process, we gonna get Megami back, but he gonna have all it, like, he gonna be beefed up. He gonna be ready to fight Noritoshi Yuji. And then we probably gonna see the Noritoshi Yuji go, like the Noritoshi Kamo, version of Yuji. We gonna see him go away, Yuji come back, but in the process, Megami probably had to like kill Yuji. And then that's where you get the ending that y'all talking about, where Yuji gets to die around all of his friends. All of the bads are gone, but he had to die. Yeah, I think you might have just solved it, because Rob, you said that and I know that Gege did say that it was either gonna go one or two ways. Everybody was gonna die but Yuji, or Yuji was gonna die and everybody else was gonna live. And this is a path. which what we just talked, what just was discussed, is a path to one of those at least. And now I'm feeling like that might be the path. That might be the correct path, because I don't think Kenjaku is just knocked out. I completely forgot about this Narutoshi Kamo guy, but I know that he is tied to Kenjaku as well. So if Narutoshi's will is kind of like tied with Kenjaku's will ultimately, then that's how it would come out, is in these blood curse paintings. Yeah. How else? What else has been set up for Kenjaku to come back out in some way, shape, or form, or his will? What else has been set up?
Except for the one person that, for whatever reason, thanked the nigga Yuji's friends. He literally said, "Thank you for being friends with my son." This nigga,
Yeah.
wild. It's no reason he has a somewhat sentimental value towards Yuji, because at the end of the day, he did give birth to him. He did have to get back shots in order to get.
Well, remember when Kenjaku, not Kenjaku, but Geto choked Kenjaku when Gojo got trapped into the prison realm, and that was the idea that like the soul is connected to the body and you can't remove that. So every time that Kenjaku was doing these hops, he still had to take a piece of like each person's soul with them, I'd imagine, to some extent. And so when he was saying that about the cursed wombs taking care of Yuji, was that Kenjaku saying that, or was that a piece of Yuji's mom? Right. Because like, if it was Kenjaku saying it, why wouldn't Kenjaku say, "Thank you for taking care of your brothers"? He said, "Thank you for taking care of my child or my son," right? How you said it was how I felt like I remember it, and it was just along the lines of Yuji. He didn't say anything about the other cursed wounds. It was just Yuji. So if it was just Yuji,
I think he was
maybe it wasn't Kenjaku.
Technically, he was the true successful cursed death painting wound. A natural birth.
True, and I guess that's where. But see, that could be a red herring. What if that was a red herring by Gege to make you think that that was coming from Kenjaku, but in actuality, it was coming from Yuji's mom?
That would be dope. It could have been.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's it's so many elements that's just left open.
It is.
It's hard to like really hypothesize too much, because you could be taking one thing and going way too overboard with it, and then that's the wild part, is you get to the next chapter and it's like, wow, I was completely wrong.
Folks, this is why we love JJK. This is why this
Exactly.
is the best series out right now, and this is coming from a Boruto lover fanboy. Like, JJK is even beating that in my eyes.
Yeah, it's beat everything else out to me. Like Demon Slayer, I held really high in regards to being like, I held it being really high in regards to being like of a newer anime, and because here's the thing, love or hate Demon Slayer, that it came in with a bang. Like that was
beautiful.
No.
Yo, the artwork, the studio behind this doing this level of artwork behind the anime, it was very reminiscent to 2011 Hunter x Hunter. Like how I don't know if y'all remember how anime looked before 2011.
Oh yeah.
But then 2011 came around and then anime just got this real smooth ass look to it. And then I felt like Demon Slayer kind of ushered in another era or like chapter in that. And that was like, again, you could tell there's a lot of people who hate Demon Slayer, and I completely I can get that. I'm rolling with people either way, however you feel. I'm more of the lover of it, but that's because I think all of the things that they introduced and like changed, and just like their arrival, like they made people go, okay, we gotta step our game up. Like we gotta come right. It made people, like, it reminded people of that again, because before that, what was we getting? Sword Art Online, spin-offs. We was getting mad isekais that weren't even like Sword Art Online. What it's been about since Tokyo Ghoul ended terribly. We thought we thought we had hope with that, but then that just went off the realms, off the reins.
No, my thing is, when you're talking about isekais, there are some really good isekais out there, Niall.
Yeah, it is. No I
Like,
love isekai. Like
like
I'm somebody who does enjoy it.
what was it? What was it? The time I got reincarnated as a slime. Still waiting on the new
It's
season for
great.
that.
Yeah.
Fire, Shield Hero.
Fire.
The time I
It's
got
another one.
reincarnated as an aristocrat. That joint was
Yeah,
dope.
it's good.
Megami ten.
Godless reincarnation.
Dude,
Yep.
is Eminence considered? No. Yeah, you just got done saying it. The reincarnated one with the boy who's the mage, who he
Godless
like the
reincarnation.
mage of it all. Yeah, that one is really, really good. I can't remember if Imminent Shadow. That's the thing. I think Imminent Shadow is technically an isekai because it was a dude who died who woke up in the body of a baby, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
that's how the very beginning of it started, and that's a really good show. Like I'm not trying to like just say like speak so poorly of isekai because I do think that they are really good. It's just we started to get a lot of anime production companies going in like these like really stale or just repeated directions,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing that was coming out felt like Full Metal Alchemist, Bleach, Naruto, Death Note. Like nothing was coming out for a while that was like that, and then you got Demon Slayer, and it was just kind of like
This is
right. It was like, and again, we did have certain things that creeped up that we thought were gonna be promising, like Seven Deadly Sins. People thought was gonna be promising. Tokyo Ghoul people thought was gonna be promising. Um, it was a lot that came out around. It was like an era of just anime that came out that everybody thought was gonna be good, and it just ended up being really bad. Fairy Tail maybe is even one really, really early on that people thought that about. Um, it was an era, and again, then
Mm-hmm.
you got Demon Slayer, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily love how the manga ended, but when it come to that animation, and how when it come to anime, how you might hate something in the manga, but then when you see it get animated and they put the time into it, you feel a little bit right. Like I kind of felt that way about Attack on Titan. I hated reading that manga. I hated it, but I felt a little bit better when I saw everything animated. Like I don't hate it as much. I really don't. So yeah, that's why with Demon Slayer, I just kind of hold that as being, I held that really, really high. But no, Jujutsu Kaisen cleared Demon Slayer to me. Cleared Demon Slayer. Like,
My like like I usually say, my thing is the only thing that holds Demon Slayer together is the art. That's it. That's the only thing that does. The only thing. Now
I don't know
even
why
when
mangaka rush the stories. I don't know whether it's the studios or just like they get nervous because of the direction, but that's all of the great anime that like went really bad. It's the same thing. They
mm,
all just get this like super rush deadline, and that's what ruins it. Like Bleach, that's why a lot of people hated Bleach. They hated Bleach's, like it was like, man, I don't even want to talk about Bleach anymore, because the studio sped up the or not the studio, but the magazine sped up the deadline on everything, and now he having to kind of flesh more of it out in the anime, which people love.
mm-hmm.
We seeing new powers and stuff that we didn't see. Rob, how you been feeling about the Bleach anime? Got any problems with it?
nigga. I skipped all of that filler. I wasn't watching none of that.
But like, but the thousand blood war art, yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah. And you sound like everybody else. When the manga that came out, that was not how people felt. Mm-mm.
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 I didn't
They
like
hated that. They hated all of that. All of it. It was rushed. Who is this Yuak Bak dude? Why, like, are we gonna focus on Aizen? It was hated. Hated. I mean, it was really the only thing that was preventing people, or that was making people come back each week, was that the content was fire. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
couldn't, as much as you hated it, you couldn't deny that them fights was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Well,
but yeah, I know we've been on JJK for a minute too. I don't want to ignore some of these other topics that we got.
yeah. JJK is just you can.
It's that good.
It's
Yeah,
near
you
and
can
dear to
tell.
all our hearts.
You can tell
Yeah.
how passionate we are from the anime episodes, from people crying, from people going through it on social media when their favorite character ends up getting clapped. It's just a perfect
Yeah.
blend. It's like a perfect blend of all of the anime that I feel like we have seen up to this point in time. It's a perfect blend. It has some moments where you understand that these are just normal individuals at the same time, but you have some moments where they're sorcerers. You have life and death moments for everybody. Nobody's safe. It just makes the stakes a lot more prominent, a lot more prevalent. You can't fuck up. If you fuck up even once versus any of these cursed
Mm-hmm.
spirits, your ass is grass. On
Mm-hmm.
that note, though, we are going to switch it over to comic related material. We got two videos for Deadpool. We got some interesting insight, some behind the scenes, and some set photos. And we got two sources to be able to go through that, and then we're going to get our thoughts and impressions on it. And then I believe after that we can do Invincible, if I'm not mistaken.
Can we talk about Invincible first before we start getting into those Marvel news?
I'll
Swap
probably
it around. I ain't.
quick.
Because I figure we
Oh
need to
yeah,
hit that.
it probably.
Hit that real quick because it's because we talked about most of it's only the mid season finale and it's only one episode that we gotta talk about.
I ain't
Okay,
mad
yeah,
at.
we
We can yeah we can knock it out real quick. It honestly no lie they probably end up being about the same length to be honest because he's right. It's just that one episode. So yeah,
So
that's cool.
let me start off because that man Omni
Yeah.
Man got packed up because Mark is ace. Oh, that man annoys me so much.
Yeah.
That Mark is Batman and his father is Damien. I've come to that conclusion.
Yeah,
Mark,
that's actually that's not a bad comparison in all honesty.
because you see when like just going back episode 3 he sees his dad again, they sit down, they talk, he finds out dad just speeding things up just in case because I know we probably didn't talk about episode 3. um I know we didn't talk about episode 3, but
I think we did. We just not talking about four. Yeah, we did talk about three because the end of three is when they showed on the.
you're right. So but 4
Yeah.
you sit down, you see everything, and when they fight the Viltrumites and he takes out the black dude, I forgot his name.
Yeah, nigga, we don't know his name.
Well,
But
when he scooped him up with that, like literally cut his intestines out and stabbed him up against the thing, I
Mhm.
thought he was done. I didn't think that Viltrumite was going to stay alive in that moment. But then when he's fighting, they're fighting that one dude and the one chick, and Mark, it's like in that moment, like I get it, Mark doesn't want to kill, but you have to kill to. I'd rather take out the one and save millions. That's my whole thing. You saw the whole planet pretty much got packed up, and they're about to come after your half brother. Your dad is asking you for help. I understand all that crap that went down, but in this moment, he's like, "Yo,
Yeah, we
help
gotta
me
bust a
save.
move.
Yeah, help me save these people." I actually started like in that moment. He's like, "Why do I feel like you can see Omni Man going through it? Why do I care about these people so much? Mark, can you help me?" And Mark is so stuck on, "Oh, you went and had another child and stuff." Mark, he's like, it's like in that moment, Omni Man's like, "Mark, I truly understand. I get it. All this other stuff, that new child, this woman, I didn't forget about y'all. It just happened the way it happened." But in that moment, he's like, "Yo, help me save these people. The Ventramites are coming. Help me save these people." And in that moment, you see him like Mark getting packed up because he's not having that killer mentality that his dad has. And his dad's like, "Yo, I care about these people, but I'm going back to my old tendencies to take these people out so I can save these insect people. Their
Yeah.
life is short lived, but I still need your help because I actually care
Yeah.
about them. Why do I care about them? It's because of you, Mark. You the one that drove me to this point. Because if you notice that's why he pretty much left and why they showed him on his whole journey where he was like lost until he got to those insect people. Like he's wondering,
it was his fault too.
huh?
He did almost kill his son. It was his fault too.
No. I understand that, but what I'm saying is it's Mark drove Omni-Man to start caring about people more. So in that moment, it's like you got it to where your dad is turning a new leaf, but and yet you're not willing to pack these people up who are trying to kill like your dad's people just because you're still holding a grudge. Mark needs to get his act together and have that killer mentality.
He was acting like a little baby back then.
Yeah,
That's the thing too, is you just got to kind of remember though that like Mark is just not very, like, he just is so new to understanding his dad's race. Like, he has no grasp yet on like how intense the Viltrumites actually are. Like, he's getting a taste of it, he's starting to understand it, but like to the point where it has to. I say this little bit of a spoiler note, but for anybody that's read it, I think that Oliver had a way easier time with this than
Because I mean,
than Mark did. Yeah,
his kind of sense of morality was kind of skewed at the same time.
right. He also was born into the you know what I mean? Like, Mark had what, 15, 16 years to, or not, all more than that, 17. Cause he going to college now. He in college now, so he had like almost 17 years of his life.
Yep.
Where he didn't. It was just peace and happy, like a regular suburban kid lifestyle. Whereas with Oliver, look at the difference with Oliver. Oliver knew what they was about and what was happening to his people and all of that off rip from these Viltrumites. And look at how his attitude is going, you know, from the jump from it. Which again, that, you know, and this, I can't wait for it. I hope this series go to the full thing, because Oliver is one of the characters I want to do like a serious discussion on. Because he one of the best written characters I think I've seen in, like, if you like low key, if you really sit there and just think, like, I know the story is focused on Mark, and then the next thing that you have to kind of focus on is Omni-Man, but like if you just look at the story of Oliver and go through that for like the entire series, dude, he had one of the best characters, like, stories that I've seen in a minute. But yeah, going back to Mark though for a second, he's just getting used to it. I think even I still can't remember his name, but the guy who grows with each fight that was genetically altered to combat the Alan, thank you. Alan Alien, thank you. Alan, though, I think that's the thing. As he has more, as we start to see Mark have more interaction, not so much with his father, but with Alan and the defenders, whatever I forgot what they were called, but the defenders that Alan is a part of. Once he starts to have more interaction with them, I feel like that's where we're going to start to see him kind of understand exactly how big this threat is and why he can't have these qualms. And he has more problems, as we know from reading it. Him not being able, Terrence, to have those killer instincts and tendencies with the Viltrumites, we do know that he suffers more as a result of that. So it's not like he don't pay for it each time that he do. He does get lessons from these moments.
I just need him to step up and like put his fist down one of those Viltrumites' throats, because honestly, in my opinion, it's like I'm watching Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. He does something good, and then all of a sudden he reverts back to level 1. Or I'm watching Pikachu from Pokemon when Ash goes to a new area. Like, didn't Pikachu just learn Iron Tail? Isn't he at like level 80 at this time? Why is he back to level 5 when he goes to Johto? Or when he goes to the Universe region? Like, it's like we get a reset every time. Like, I get it. Mark's going through a lot. Mark's character development, he's still trying to understand everything that's going on. He just got his powers because he had turned 18. But it's like, in certain moments, you have to step up. Fight or flight. Like, you need... fight or flight. You need to fight. Like, in that moment, you're getting your behind kicked. They're hitting you harder than your dad did. You need to hit back. Hit back. Right. Please.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to see. We will see. We will see what Mark going forward. It's a ride with Mark. It is a ride with Mark. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is really frustrating too, because there's a lot of parts that's gonna be coming up where I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. It's just how it is with that character.
And animated version.
Shut up, bro.
Yeah.
That-
I remember the first day I started like reading into Jujutsu Kaisen, and then they had the spoilers about Gojo. I said it couldn't be true. I read it. I called Rob up. I said, I hate this. I'm not reading this ever again. I'm not doing this. Why they gonna pack my son up like that? This ain't true. This ain't real. Nah, it is real, T. I couldn't believe it. I was in denial. I went through the 7 stages. It hurt. My feelings hurt. You gonna take my
It's a
bro out
character.
like that? Shut up.
It's a
Shut up. Shut up.
There we
Shut
go.
up.
Fuck that nigga Gojo. Put that nigga in the
Nah,
biggest pack that
son.
he got.
That's just like when me. Hold up. When Naruto came out and they had that Rock Lee Gaara fight, bruh, I cried. Because Rock Lee's one of my favorite side characters. I cried in that moment because when they said... But they took his ability to fight away.
He got packed up for then.
He got...
And then he eventually was able to fight again.
I understand that, but in that moment, we didn't see him fight again until Shippuden. I had to wait almost 3 years for him to fight again.
We saw him fight again before Shippuden.
No.
The Sasuke retrieval arc. Yeah.
No.
The Sasuke retrieval arc.
He didn't fight in the Sasuke retrieval arc.
He did. He fought Kibimaru, the drunken fist.
That was Shippuden. I said
That's
you didn't.
Shippuden. That was before.
Oh, I'm fuzzy. I'm fuzzy. You know that was all around.
That was Sasuke right after.
That was before Shippuden started.
That was before Shippuden, cause Sasuke and Naruto just fought before then. Then Orochimaru's goons pulled up in the village.
Yeah.
When Kakashi stopped him, Orochimaru's goons pulled up, told Sasuke, "Hey, if you want power to kill your brother Itachi, this is how you do it." And then they took him, and then they had him in the vat thing. And then all of the niggas, Choji, fucking Shikamaru, all them niggas had to fight their own respective niggas.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. Cause somebody had to fight the bone dude, right?
Yeah, Naruto caught up with Kimimaru, and Kimimaru.
Okay.
Alright,
You got it.
alright,
I had to look it up. While y'all talking, I had to look it up.
That wasn't Shippuden. Alright, regardless.
But still, I cried.
I do feel like your point do still kind of. It still is accurate in that though, because it was kind of like, I do remember there being a brief little period where it was like, is this character gonna be done for the rest of the series? Like, you just didn't.
Yeah, just like
you
how.
weren't sure.
But then, like, it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. Yes, he comes back, he's able to fight, but then his master loses the ability to fight later on when he fought Madara.
That shit was worth it though, man.
It was worth it, but seeing my son in the wheelchair, and then he's trying his best to, like, get past that point. Like, Kakashi, let's have a race. And Kakashi looking like, bro, you're in a wheelchair. Like, it's not fair.
They did my boy Might.
They did him lovely. I don't know what y'all talking
Oh nah, they did do him lovely, because that that eighth gate, fam, that eighth gate was. It was nah, like it was. They did.
My son went like,
yeah,
the whole series.
They did that whole. I don't think that they didn't do it. I just hated that he had to be confined to a wheelchair after that. But I guess if you got somebody that's that powerful, like, what's to stop you from bringing him back out if you don't confine him in some way? Like, why would Naruto have to fight? Like, as an example, during Boruto, if you had 8-gate, like, might guy out here, I'm putting him up against, what's his name? The dude that shrink things that Kawaki got his powers from?
Ishiki.
I would just put him up against him. To start, like, if I was Naruto and the rest, I'd be like, all right, let me warm up. Guy, you go start. I'm gonna go warm up. Me and Kurama gonna talk real quick. Try to get our little step together. Sasuke gonna do his best. And then maybe they wouldn't have lost their eye and lost Kurama in that fight. So you gotta
I don't even want to talk about that neither. That was my another Rock Lee moment.
You gotta kind of you gotta kind of handicap. You gotta kind of handicap a character if they could just clean up Madara with the Sage of the Six Paths power. Like, you gotta kind of pack that guy up. So I mean, I do get the wheelchair. I just hate that because he was just such a you know what hurt about him being in a wheelchair so much? He was so mobile.
Yup.
Him and
Gone.
Rock Lee, they remember when you would see him in scenes, they just be like walking in place and whatnot. Like they're so mobile, and then their taijutsu is so wrapped around their physical like prowess that confining Might Guy to a wheelchair was just like, yo. But honestly, they could have killed him versus killing him. It's you know, I don't know. It's an emotional grabber. It is.
See, but okay, my whole thing is let just stay on the subject before we go over to next topic. This is my last thing before we move on. With Boruto, before we get to Blue Vortex, but the anime, I remember when we was introduced with Metal Lee. One, his mother's Tenten, correct?
Whose son that actually is.
I don't know.
But the thing is, Rock Lee's the dad, but I'm thinking Tenten's the mom. Because think about it, Metal Lee, he uses she's able to pull tools out of her behind, and he's proficient with all that stuff. You looking it up?
Yeah,
but
I have
why?
No clue.
But why? It's like Metal Lee was such a They really made him into a terrible side character. Like Grant.
Mother.
He is. She is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
Rock Lee. Yeah, that's what I like to see.
No, hold up. You want to know what? You want to only know why Tenten went with him? Tenten wanted Neji.
Yeah.
Because remember, Rock Lee wanted Sakura. He wasn't getting no Sakura, so he had to go to.
It was leftovers.
Yeah, he had to go to the leftover.
Same thing happened with my boy Choji. He had to go get somebody from a whole nother. This ain't even Squad.
Hey, but my son got a sister though. He got a sister though. I ain't mad at him.
You know, he did. He cleaned up.
I ain't mad at him.
He cleaned up.
All right. Before we go off on the anime tangent again.
Yeah.
What would you
Invincible, just to wrap Invincible. I got one question before we do move all the way from Invincible, if that's okay.
Okay.
Do y'all feel like it left at a good place for the mid-season break? Yeah. Like, does it feel it's calm? Yeah.
It's gonna bring back, I guess, kind of like all their redemption stories. Kind of Alan the Alien gonna come back. I think that's why the nigga took, if I'm not mistaken, in the comics, he did it in a different way. But he took him off that life support in order for him to actually like come back Super Saiyan type shit, to come back stronger. And I think this is actually gonna motivate Mark to start to realize how he has to fight the Ultramarks, because he started to get it towards the end of their fight, but by then it was already too late. So I think this is gonna be their redemption story, and still at the end of that, we still got Angstrom Levy chilling in the cut. We still got Donald figuring out that he's might be a cyborg.
Yeah.
We got Oliver and what's gonna happen.
That's why I don't think that this can be short. I don't know what the creator is talking. I don't know who. I don't know if they saying it. If they haven't. If they have said that this is only supposed to be like 4 seasons or something, there's no way.
They're about to rush a lot.
They're going through it. They're going through a lot.
That's fine, but even at that, it's to the point of what you said, Rob. Like they do a good job, kind of like addressing the side characters and whatnot. It's a beautiful thing, but that should be stretching some of this stuff out. Like even if it's still like if you rushing it, it's like you kind of you took a step back to kind of flesh out some of these other stories, and it's fine because they are doing a good job of doing it. But I just like, yo, it's a lot that I don't know how much of Invincible is supposed to be covered, but it's a lot to Invincible. Mm-hmm. It's so much so that I read it and then I forgot half of what I read because like it goes on for a minute. I had to like go and refresh myself.
Probably 5 to 8 seasons. I give or take 5 minimal, 8 max.
Yeah, I can give you something like that, but I don't know if I could do any less than that. And then also, they can't be doing these little 8-episode seasons if that's the case.
No,
you're gonna have to do like, it's gonna at least 12. At least 12. I could see 5 if from here on out after this season, from here on out, it's like 12 to like 14 episodes per season.
They can do it in
Beyond
5
this,
and be
then
done with
yeah, they could do it in
season.
5. Yeah.
Like we reached half of the season so far, and we've already introduced multiple concepts that was so spaced out in the comic book that they're
Yeah,
all
but
their own unique thing. It's kind of like they're knocking a lot of birds down with one stone and one metaphorical stone in the season.
yeah, I mean, and I get where you coming from with that, but like think about this. What if season 3 start with Maxstrom Levy? What if that starts season 3?
I
Mm.
think
And
I think they're gonna finish it up in this one.
I don't know.
That'd
They
be
could not
too.
though. Like the pacing
Yeah.
that they go, it could very well not.
No.
It could start in this season, but it could very well not end in this season.
Cause
And you gotta go into season 3 with it.
doesn't he get sent to different dimensions?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
He's trapped in another dimension.
And we gotta still go through it's different. We hop through with the different ones with him, right?
I think no, he hasn't. Not Angstrom Levy, yes, but not Mark. So
Right.
he's gonna. I feel like they're going to at least start it for the ending of season 2, because obviously they'll have to do something about those vulture mites, get his
Right.
all of that jazz. They might do that, or have Angstrom Levy be 2 of these episodes for the rest of this season. Have one of them be an Alan the Alien episode in order to bring him back around, and then have
Yeah,
one.
but the thing is, it still is going for the majority. So like, put it like this: if we stayed at the same pace that we are with this season, right?
Mhm.
What I'm saying to you is, we would start next season picking up where this season left off, which would be Angstrom Levi's story. Then you would have to finish where like that story, which will probably take us to another half season break. Where then the next half season break will be picking up on whatever is to come after it, which I can't remember what it is right now, but whatever comes after that will be picking up after the mid season of season 3. And then we will be concluding that by the mid season of season 4. You see what I'm saying? Like if you do it like that, it's mad slow.
I still think they can finish Angstrom Levy within this season.
We'll see, but I just feel like it's getting. How many episodes we got left?
4.
4.
2 episodes of Angstrom Levy. I feel like you can wrap up a lot of content of his story with 2-hour episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Possibly, but it depends on how quickly you get to it.
You could wrap up Oliver, because time runs differently out there. You could wrap up Oliver in like a half episode, and him coming back to Earth in a half episode.
It just all that matters is just how quickly they go about getting to it. You know what I mean? Like we'll know when we January, what is it, like 6 or whatever day that is that it comes back. We'll know then. That episode will let us know how far they're gonna get in regards to the Angstrom Levy story in this season. And you could be right, because you're right. The pacing does kind of have it has a weird little flow to it that's unique to the anime, and that's fine. But we're gonna have to see. I think that episode is what's gonna let us know. That's all I got. Thank you for answering that question for me.
Alrighty then. We're gonna go on our last topic. We got, like I was saying earlier, we got some good Daredevil news. Potentially giving us more insight. I said Daredevil. Holy fuck! I'm hungry, y'all. My bad.
Yeah, I was
Deadpool-
about to say. I'm like, you gotta update me.
Deadpool news. They did get a new writer for Daredevil too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you heard that. But
I do hope we get more news for that too. Just I know it was an accident, but I do hope we do get more news for that, for real, because I really don't want them to cancel that.
Yeah, wasn't it supposed to drop like early next year? It was.
Actors and writer strike.
Oh yeah, it got pushed back. Duh.
So now that that's done, I feel like they got a new writer, and I think it's writers, and they were just I heard a source saying that they were reading hella Daredevil comics, and I can't remember the one writer that's super famous for having the Daredevil Born Again, or who wrote that storyline.
Okay, yeah.
Type of thing. Yeah, so that's been going on. But outside of
All right,
Daredevil,
that's good.
Deadpool has had some new set photos leaked, as well as some sources that have been swirling around. we want to watch a video with y'all, 2 videos with y'all, and I just want to get y'all thoughts on it. I feel like Daredevil is the next major MCU movie coming out, if I'm not mistaken.
The only MCU movie next year.
Yeah, for next year right now.
But
Yeah.
the first like Marvel film that we're getting, I think, is the Spider Web, Madam Web.
Madam Web, yeah. Which doesn't seem too bad. But it is Sony at the same time. It is Sony.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my hopes up too high with Madam Web. I ain't gonna hold you, but it could. I agree, it could be something. You know.
Multiple Spider people, and they just the idea that they're bringing in Ezekiel Sims.
That might be cool.
I just didn't like the suit.
If they bring in fucking what are those people's name? I can't remember those people, but the people that go around killing the spider totems, Morlun, basically.
Yeah, right.
The vampires.
And they were saying that I was reading a source that they were saying that Tom Holland was gonna be that main Spider-Man since he didn't kill anybody or since he didn't like take the darker turn in his Spider-Man career. He's gonna be that main one out of all of the universes, that main spider totem, and he'll be a key factor into like a more long type of. If they do that, that just be. We've never seen that in the big screen. And that was such a heavily loved Spider-Man comic because it brought all of these spider people together for one general cause, and they were all at the same time. But regardless, we're just waiting on T to pull up these Deadpool videos.
I already got them.
Alright, we gotta pull up the Twitch real quick so me and I can watch it. While we're watching it, I'm actually gonna get some wine because I am thirsty, and it'll help curb the hunger.
Yeah, alcoholic.
No, you know what I like to do.
I don't even want to know what you like to do.
It's that booger sugar for me.
Oh my god.
You know what? Just stop, because I could have went on a full rant and we would have got canceled.
Wait, time out. Yeah, hold on. I was about to be in the same place if that's what we talking about. Oh my god, I hope not. I really hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
He ain't gonna do nothing stupid now.
All I'm saying is be careful.
I'm not
please.
That booger sugar. I smoke.
Okay.
I smoke that shit. You gotta know this.
No, because I know people. That's the thing is like I'm around that a lot, so like I know people that be doing all that. I'm like, it's just to the point where I just be telling people, I'll be like, just be careful.
I'll be diggity dog damn.
I say be careful and get that away from me.
Yeah, for me, it's the same. I'm at the same point with stuff like that. I tell you, I have had my deeds and diddlies in the past, but that is not me today.
Funny story.
No.
Oh no.
I had a job with my cousin recently. This was like in the past couple of months. Had a job. It was a wedding reception.
Oh no.
We were basically the only black people.
Oh yeah.
And
I know where this is going.
Came up to me. White dude came up to me. Was like, "Yeah, you ever like dabble in the powder?" I was like, "Nah, bro." I was like, most I do is just smoke a little weed. And he was like, "Nah, like, man, sometimes you need it to really just like lighten the mood and really get the party jumping." I was like, it sounds like this man is trying to solicit me into
Yeah, whenever it sounds like that, it's like nope. And the thing is now everything is cut really weird, so that's where you gotta be real careful. That's why. That's personally why I don't, cause I don't want to test my luck. I don't think I got great luck anyways.
That'd be that moment somebody lace your stuff.
I wouldn't trust it, and I go and get it. What makes you think I would trust your random ass?
Yeah, no.
Reception to give me. I was perplexed. Nope. But it was funny though. At the end of the day, it was funny. They really do. Y'all really do. Whoever y'all are out there, y'all really do love that booger shit.
A lot of people do. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people here. That's why when you said that, like, my first thing wasn't to like, I'm shocked. My first thing was like, yo, a lot of people here love that. They love that. So
that Justin Bieber, that Anna Nicole Smith, that
All right, before we get canceled with all this drug.
Yeah.
All right, so you want me to kick that off while you go get your wine?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go get something to drink as well too, but just let it play, and I'll
photos from
fulfilling.
the set of Deadpool 3 have revealed Robert Downey Jr. is back as Iron Man in this third entry. And Marvel truly is in shambles because they just lied about the fact that they wouldn't do this. Except this is fake. But people are dumb. There is a bunch of fake images going around social media, such as this one, for example, showing us Tony Stark face-to-face with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. And if you look at it, you can obviously tell there's some AI generation going on here and Photoshop. And it's pretty good. If you didn't know any better and if you're just a casual, yeah, you look at this, you go, oh my god, yeah, it's real. It sure looks real. But then if you follow it to the source, you find out that there's more set photos. So prepare for this set photo. Yup, Venom in the flesh on the set. I checked the comments. I'm telling you, tens of thousands of people believe this. Even though you are probably smart enough to realize that this is completely fake. Like, why would they have Venom like this on set in a real... Never mind. Now, unfortunately, the whole Deadpool and Tony Stark photo is the singular one that's being shared because it's the most convincing, and people are falling for it. Now, if you go and check the sources, from what I can track it to, it's the same exact page that's been making the rounds, and you've probably seen all your idiotic friends and family members fall for this one, but, you know... It's real, guys. That's right. You've heard nothing about it, but it's dropping in 2 weeks. The Christmas Express prequel, starring Tom Hanks in RL. It's not CG. And who could ever forget this one that everybody was falling for that features 3 of the Ninja Turtles out of 4. God, how are people so dumb? But yep, I've seen close friends of mine share this in excitement out of a fake page that just produces fake posters like this. Yeah, did you know they're rebooting it again with Margot Robbie as Sarah Connor, and Henry Cavill is going to be playing the Terminator? Yep, that's up there as well. And I saw 68,000 shares in 24 hours. And I just looked at because some of the people keep their, accounts public, and all their friends and family are like, oh my god, again? Why? How desperate? This is stupid. We don't need it. You and I can look at this and our brains know this is AI. People can't. People are gullible. They're literally the ones that are sitting in front of their TV and mainstream news, I guess that's the best way I can point the finger at who I'm talking about, will be like, did you hear the news? In Australia, they're not allowed to sleep after 4 a.m. You have to wake up and get to the gym and work out. They're not going to fact check anything. Nobody watching it's going to fact check anything. They're just going to go, yeah, okay, it checks out, stupid Australians. They don't know what it's like in America. It's all right. They're dumb. And then they'll go online and share this photo and be like, see, totally real. I saw it on the Facebooks and the X's with Elon Musk. My son tells me he's a, alpha male, so I should follow him. See what I mean, guys? People fall for this. Please don't share it. Don't bombard us with messages to talk about it when you know it's fake. Or maybe you don't, and you just needed me to tell you that it's fake.
All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to
Yes, sir. Fighting the fuck out there.
That Marvel Studios officially acknowledged that Deadpool 3, or Deadpool and Wolverine as the placeholder title has been affectionately known in the media, is officially back on set and filming. Well, today we have some brand new behind-the-scenes photos where we'll issue the lightest of spoiler warnings. It's not just Deadpool and Wolverine and what we think is the Void now, but rather there are 2 X-Men villains returning from the original X-Men films that feature in these scenes. We have the still photos for you now. We have all of them. We're going to go over them in full, break them down, and talk about what it means for the upcoming Deadpool 3. And we also have a report, incidentally, on the first official look we're going to get for Deadpool. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a trailer, but rather something else. We'll talk about that during this video as well. We're breaking down all the latest for Deadpool and Wolverine, or rather Deadpool 3, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner at the end of this month to coincide with What If. We also have another PS5 giveaway in January for Echo. Again, all you gotta do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the lightest of spoiler warning here. I had posted this earlier to my social media, as I assume these are going to make their rounds the same way that they did with the original behind the scenes photos. But if you want to go into the unknown not knowing, I totally understand. Now would be your chance to back out. I also warn you, maybe stay off social media for the time being, but again, now would be your chance to back out. Otherwise, let's talk about what's in these new behind the scenes set photos. Okay, so this broke earlier from the Mirror, where they had the exclusive Deadpool spoiler snaps show Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's and Grizzly scenes. This is coming from the same group, Bav Media, that supplied the original behind the scenes photos of Wolverine and Deadpool fighting in what we now are assuming is the Void. The first photo here shows Wolverine fighting Sabretooth, and while it is hard to tell it's that character, we know that because that's what the photos describes as. Wolverine takes on Sabretooth. Again, this is coming from Click News and Media, Bad Media, and Splash News. Now, we're not exactly sure which actor this is, and I will mention specifically this could be the stunt double, but all reports have said that Liv Schreiber is returning as the character, but that's not really what this looks like here. Yeah, they could be updating Liv Schreiber's look to be a lot more close to the comics, but ultimately this looks like either the actor Tyler Mane or his stunt double, a representation of the character from the original 2000s X-Men, which would make a lot more sense considering the rest of this report. Although not photoed, the actor who plays Toad was also on set and filming as that character. So the original villains from that first X-Men film, and if Liv Schreiber is returning as Sabretooth and this isn't him, then he's somewhere else in the film. Again, we're just guessing based on the photo. Speaking of based on the photo, in the earlier behind the scenes photos, Wolverine and Deadpool were throwing somebody's head around. It looks like we may know whose head that is now, as the caption on this photo was Deadpool flaunts Sabretooth's decapitated head, and there he is with obviously a prosthetic of it looks like Tyler Mane. That does not look like a Liv Schreiber representation.
Gotta love ads.
But either way, and as we already assumed from earlier behind the scene footage, this is something like the Void. And I know that there have been a ton of rumors out there about their interactive with the TVA, what the actual goal of the film is going to be, and we probably should do a recap of all of those before another plot leak drops somewhere on 4chan. What I will say though is that an official look for Deadpool 3 and Wolverine is right around the corner. This according to sources, and this morning that the next issue of Total Film will actually include an official preview for the movie. Now I know some of you have already pointed out in the last couple of weeks you thought the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer would be coming soon, only because the Marvels has been released and we don't have the trailer for the next Marvel movie. But admittedly, Marvel has been holding on to the trailers longer and longer, especially through Phase 4 and Phase 5. Deadpool 3 and Wolverine is July 26th, though that's still 7 months no matter how you cut it. I think it very unlikely we're getting a trailer for this in any time soon, so I would rather debunk anybody who's guessing we're doing that. I haven't seen that report out there, but usually if we're getting film previews in magazines, there's a trailer somewhere around that to coincide. I just wouldn't hold your breath. Now lastly, the only piece of news we haven't covered here yet was the last cameo that's been reported to update the most ridiculous list basically you've ever heard, and we've been leaving the Taylor Swift news alone. It's been reported that Daphne King will be returning to portray her character in X-23, and honestly at this point no report surprised me, but that's coming from industry insider Daniel Rickman, who, as I often say, has one of the best track records in the industry, especially when it comes to his Marvel scoops. Now I can say with some certainty that I do not think that this is going to be the end of what's coming, or rather maybe just the beginning. So there may be a ton of Deadpool and Wolverine spoilers literally right around the corner, and then you guys know exactly what that means. It means within the next 30 to 60 days there'll be some really poorly written 4chan anonymous plot leaks that basically just harken back to these details and reveals. Keep in mind though, this isn't giving away the plot for the film any more so than we already know, and for a lot of the important stuff, the Act 3 stuff, the finale stuff, Marvel will film all of that on a sound studio somewhere. They aren't filming the entirety of this film outside. There's not going to be spoilers for everything. I also could imagine that these shots that are coming out now are actually from the original filming and on set right before the actor strike took place, and not where they're filming right now. I have an inkling that these are just leftover photos and brand new releases from that time earlier and not something new that they're shooting. That being said, if they have taken things indoors, this may be the last time we get any of the behind the scenes stuff. And so to me, it's not really that big of a spoiler. It doesn't ruin the film that the original Sabretooth and or Toad are showing up from the X-Men 2000s film and that they're killing them. I suspected there would be a lot of dispensing of old X-Men characters during this film, and I assume they're just the first on a long list of characters that are going to perish. In fact, if Wolverine or Deadpool could die, it would die as well. Guys, let me know all your thoughts, though, down below, how hyped you are for this film. And since it looks like we're literally getting the cameo fest that's being reported, who do you want to see back? Which iterations of the characters? I think it's a really cool way to treat these old Fox X-Men universes, because rather than just put anybody else or any other villains or recast on screen, it's just like, think of it as expensive dragon fodder. It's exactly what I said about Multiverse of Madness. I think we can safely assume the same here. Let me know all your thoughts down below, who you want to see back for cameos. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are still giving away PlayStations at the channel. We actually have 2, and they're right around the corner. The first of which will be for the finale of What If, at the end of this month. We've also got...
Alright.
That first one, I didn't really pay attention to that first one. That first one was talking about fake leaks.
Yeah, it was talking about a lot of fake leaks. So, like, it was one saying that they were going to bring back Iron Man, which, you can see the photo. It, like, they were saying that, Robert Downey Jr. was on set when they already said they're not going to bring him back, which, in Marvel Studios news this past week, Kevin Feige confirmed they will not be, bringing back Iron Man, stating, and he quote, like, and I quote, "We are going to keep that moment and not touch that moment again. We all worked very hard for many years to get to that, and we would never want to magically undo it in any way." But there is confirmation that, yes, that photo of him fighting like Sabretooth, Wolverine, that is confirmed to be in the movie. And they also showed like a picture of Venom being on set, like in full Venom. And people... he was talking about how people are saying that that's real, that's real, blah 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 blah, when it's not. But
Yeah, I feel like.
I was gonna say, like, the storyline for Deadpool, it is confirmed, since they are talking about like bringing back some people from the Fox universe, that we are getting Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but adapted as the Fox universe. That's why they're bringing back Wolverine. We're getting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. You'll see them fight, and they're talking about Magneto's gonna be back. We might see Wanda. Apparently, in other news, Wanda is not dead, even though they confirmed she. Then they did confirm that she is dead. I'm still lost, because they're trying to make a Wanda, a Scarlet Witch movie soon.
I don't think they ever confirmed that she was dead.
I read somewhere that they said that she is dead. That's why I was kind of lost, because they never really showed that she died.
Yeah, they never showed it, and if they did make an announcement for it, it must, I don't know. It might have been, I don't know, because I'm with Rob. I didn't hear anything about it.
And then even when you watched it, you knew that she wasn't dead. They
Yeah.
showed Tony Stark get clapped. You see that nigga snap his damn fingers.
Yeah, if Wanda was out, they would have showed. I feel like they would have showed it. Yeah, I don't think that it would have been any off-scene type thing or like any question of it. It would have been like Tony Stark, where we 100% would know if she is. So it makes sense to have to see her again. They show X-23, and it just made me kind of wonder, like, some of the characters that they have, especially in a newer iteration of like the X-Men series, like all the ones that we don't like, all of the ones that we don't like at all, the ones that came out around the time Deadpool came out. Do you think like any of those? I haven't seen any of those movies, so I don't know. I'm not the best one to answer this.
Like which
But do you
movies?
think any?
Recent X-Men.
Yeah, like the First Class and the
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix and like I don't know any of those characters, but I think that they're gonna include a lot of those characters in this film, this Deadpool film.
Yeah, most definitely. I think
And
they
the
should
big
bring
thing
some of
is
those characters over.
there's back, and that's what I was going to ask you is, do you think that any of them will? And if so, which characters do you think they'd
Professor
actually
X,
bring over?
I think they
Professor
bring
X,
over
Magneto,
Storm. Storm.
Professor X,
Beast,
Magneto,
Beast might get brought over, but brought over via a whole nother storyline.
Yeah,
But
Beast-
Beast, I think we can count on is coming over. He's coming, in my opinion, he's coming over.
but Ian McKellen, no, not Ian McKellen. That's the older one, if I'm not mistaken. The most recent Magneto, the most recent Charles Xavier. That's like they're young.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, I like him.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
Yeah,
very
me
well
too.
for both of their respective characters, and it makes sense and everything like that. So I think if they bring those two, and they could do a soft reboot on everybody else, that'd be perfectly fine. I mean, Cyclops was pretty cool as a young buck. Jean Grey.
Honestly, yeah, just like reboot the, cause think about it, just serious, like literally reboot the X-Men First Class story from when Charles and Magneto met. Just have it now be, okay, y'all gotta do the same thing over again. Like, I know you had to do it once, but you gotta do it again because your universe is bye-bye now. So now you have to do it in the main Marvel universe. They have to go along their roles. So that Magneto would have to go and find Emma Frost. This Charles Xavier would have to find who was one of the early ones he got? Wolverine, maybe, or this Magneto has, or this Xavier has to find the Beast that we saw at the end of the Marvels or whatever. Like, it's kind of like a little bit of an experiment trying to figure out where all of these newer versions of these characters exist in this modern, in this actual MCU and not Fox world. Yeah.
My whole
Not
thing
against it.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that y'all would like to see? Like a random one, like Darwin or something?
Well, my thing is, give me the Storm from First Class. Not First Class. I don't want Halle. I want the new Storm that they brought in because she was mad cool. She was actually from Africa.
I don't know her. I don't know nothing about that lady. I ain't never even seen a film with her.
She kind of embodied it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and they gave us the Storm with the, I think at one point she had the mohawk. Can we get that? I like the Storm with the mohawk, and that was a pretty cool, like, how they did it with her in that one. But honestly, I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3. Like, it's heating up over the last several years since it was announced after the whole merger with Disney. Well, Disney buying Fox. They're all the Marvel characters from there, and we know we getting a reboot, and the whole, is Deadpool still going to be rated R? And when Disney confirmed that, we know that this is going to be a big cash grab for them, and they trying to go all out. You cannot, like, in my opinion, Deadpool can go on for several movies. You don't have to end it with Deadpool 3. It could be a Deadpool 5, 6, 7, 8, or a spinoff where you got Deadpool and Spider-Man. There's so much stuff that you could do. And one thing I wanted to see because they can keep this going. Like, let's say they say Deadpool 3 is the last movie. Give Deadpool the Stan Lee treatment. Let him be in since he has the ability to go in time or be able to jump through space and time to the multiverse. Let him appear in each random movie doing a cameo.
So kind of like Hulk, how Hulk's treatment was in the MCU thus far, just kind of shift Deadpool into a role like that, but one where you can kind of have it hop in the universe. Not bad.
And that would be a funny joking moment. You don't know. He could appear in the end credit scene. He could appear in the middle of the movie doing something stupid like Stan Lee does. Or him sitting back, let's say they give him the Loki treatment, like he knows what's happening in the timeline, and he's like sitting there eating popcorn while two people are fighting. Oh, this is cool.
Right.
Like and give us a dumb Ryan Reynolds line to zing with it if they wanted to do that.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at that. It depends. I don't know. Like, it's a lot of these movies and such. That's the problem, is like the MCU is just so hard to really figure out at this current point. So the weird part is the Deadpool movie going to be something that we can use to help us understand the future more, or is it going to be just like a write-off where, and then that part is a little ambiguous, I feel like, because we do know that it is a write-off. They're trying to write off the Fox universe, but at the same time, we just don't know where at all this is all supposed to fit in like the MCU side of things.
Mhm.
You know, we understand what they're doing with the Fox side, but I mean, that's it. That's all we know. So
I think it'll pinpoint, this movie will pinpoint exactly which characters will be used from the older.
yeah, we'll get a clearer direction of things. That might be the reason why they only want this to be the only movie to come out next year.
Yeah,
Because maybe this movie will give fans enough of a direction, you know, like, oh, okay, this is what y'all are gonna be doing after or somewhere around the ending of the Kang the Conqueror storyline. We're gonna be getting these things coming in more and more into play, and you just kind of explained it for us here through Deadpool, which is fine. If that's the case, if that's what they do,
I would
that's
like
fine.
to
I just
see-
hope for the clarity.
I'd like to see the newer Krakoa type of thing to be brought into the actual
Yeah, I'm cool with that too.
reality. That would be
I'm
What?
cool with that. I think Krakoa was a great introduction into the comic book, so
and a newer version of Charles Xavier where he wasn't in a wheelchair, but he had
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hope they bring back Evan Peters as Quicksilver. I understand that could be a one-off for one
That'd be
division,
fine.
but
Nah, I think he was
That's I think that's fine. I think yeah, especially I think he could be very useful too, because the fact that we saw him in WandaVision, well, that could be a story plot line that you can now connect into helping to usher in more of the X-Men, or connecting Wanda into the story, or however it goes. But
because they already
Mhm.
said Wanda's supposed to be coming in this movie because she's supposed to be fighting Jean Grey.
right,
We might get that Jean
Right.
Grey Wanda fight, which we all know Wanda will scrap her
That'd be pretty
any
cool.
day.
It'd be cool though. That'd be a great fight. Yeah, like non-Phoenix Force. Yeah, for sure. But if you could give me like a somewhat Phoenix imbued version versus Multiverse of Madness level Wanda?
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
Wanda-
kind of fun to see.
and
Even
let
if it's
her-
only for a second.
and
That'd be
let
kind
her
of fun to see.
and let her be able to use the Darkhold for good. Oh my goodness! Don't let
Yeah,
it,
like
oh,
that'd be fun to see. That'd be fun to see for a second. If you give it to me, it don't gotta be anything long, but it could be Dark Phoenix version of Jean Grey versus Wanda that we know. Fan servicey, real fan servicey, but like I'm
Mhm.
fine with that. That'd be cool. That'd be fine. Like
They can-
no, not even something long, like a 3 minute. You know what I mean? Like a quick scene where we stop in and we see the two of them fighting, and then we go, we gotta. You know, one of the characters go, we gotta go, and then. You know, after a couple more seconds of us watching this amazing fight, they kind of like break away. I wouldn't even be mad at that.
see.
I really want it.
Honestly, I hope they make this Deadpool movie 2.5 hours. You if you're doing Deadpool kills the Fox
Yeah.
universe, you have to expound upon it. Like people would not be mad that that movie is 2.5, 3 hours because you're giving us Ryan
Nah,
Reynolds.
yeah, especially if you bouncing right, and especially
Yeah.
if the whole movie is supposed to be about this character bouncing around. I'd rather it be longer than shorter
it's
because
a-
I don't want just like 5 second scenes.
And it's supposed to be a Wolverine and,
feels
and Deadpool movie. So
Yeah,
technically, give us like an hour and a half focusing on Wolverine, an hour and a half focusing on Deadpool, then boom.
yeah, I won't be mad at it. Just mix the characters in for both of them as they relate. It doesn't have to be an overly complicated movie, but I do
No.
think that it can restore a lot of faith in fans if done right. I do believe that.
Literally, they would beat out Sony. That would be the best movie out the year, even though Sony's releasing what, 4?
Wow, really?
Venom, Madam Web,
Madam
Kraven,
Web.
and it's something else.
Venom comes out next. There's a Venom movie coming
Yep.
out next year.
Venom 3.
these shits is gonna be ass.
Wow. Yeah, they all about to be ass.
Yeah, and you gonna go
No.
somewhere, and you gonna pay to go see it. Don't act like you not.
Yeah, no, I am.
I didn't.
No, I am.
The other Venoms.
Not for. I will say this for Venom. I probably will.
I hate to say it. People don't
Venom
like Venom.
Web,
I love Venom. I love Venom.
Me too.
I
I'm
like
with you,
Venom
Terrence.
too.
Me too.
Because I like
Is
Tom
it enough
Hardy.
for me to pay? Is it enough for me to?
He a great actor.
The second Venom movie was better than the first one because we got Carnage.
Madam Web, I'm not though. Craven, I will.
Craven.
If it, yeah, because they've been talking about it for so long that yeah, I will go see that movie at theaters just with the hope.
Nigga don't even hunt animals, bruh. He's an animal activist.
Bruh,
Diggity dog damn.
That's what the story is, that he's an animal activist.
leave Craven alone. Because they're
Wow.
making a. But that's the thing. they're making a standalone Craven movie so that you can learn more about Craven. It's going to
Yeah, but
lead,
it could be different, right?
but
And it could be
so
different.
But it's not going back into the comic book stories. He gets his fucking powers because a lion bled into a wound, my nigga. This is not
Oh,
the
they doing
Craven
it. They doing the
story.
DC approach then. Yeah, this
This
is not
is
gonna be a
not
good
the
movie then.
Craven
This is
story.
DC.
but here's the
No,
thing
no
though.
cap. This is
Listen,
DC.
but listen. I feel at some point, let's say during that movie, yeah, he gets the blood from a lion, but then he's looking for more power for a better game. They end up going with that approach where he goes to see a witch doctor to get added abilities to what, like, from what the comic showed, to make him strong to be able to take down high game, Spider-Man, Black Panther, everything. Granted, we're not gonna get that. I wish we did. That would have been dope.
Not that nigga. I'll be diggity dog damn.
Nah, that dude. I ain't gonna lie to you though, Rob. Hearing that is a little disappointing to hear. That's the way they going. But where I will agree with Terrence is just hold out because maybe they'll figure. It might be like sometimes when they switch things around like that, where it's like polar opposite for what you used to. Fans get real upset about it, but then when you actually see it like executed, you like, dang, I never even thought about this. Like that actually was a good idea to switch it around for the sake of a cinematic like movie. It could be something like that. I mean, I don't really have any high hopes in Sony, and if they got 4 movies coming out this year,
Well, my thing
like,
is,
and none
it's
of
like,
them are. I don't expect them to be good. I just don't.
well, my thing is with Craven, it's like, yeah, the approach. He's an animal activist. So what? I don't care. My whole thing is,
It
if
can
they
still
do
be
it
done right.
if they do it right and make, because at some point they're bringing the Sony universe into the MCU, not for that blip that we had for the Spider-Man movie where we got Venom in there for a split second. They're actually going to try and bring everything over into the MCU, and if done right, we might actually have the Craven that we had in Spider-Man 2. If they do, there's any way, shape, or form they do it right,
Yeah,
where we
it's
get
in their
Craven going.
hands.
It's possible. It's
It's
possible.
in their hands. They could
Yeah.
make 3 movies as smokers this year, but I agree. Just off the track record,
Venom-
I doubt it.
Venom's the
but
only one I
they-
see actually doing well. Venom's the only
Yeah,
one.
like me too, and that could even go south depending on. Because I'm not gonna hold you. The fact that there is another Venom movie coming out this year, here I just found that out, and you saying that now, and that's a shocker to me, because it's like, nah, y'all definitely didn't take enough time to write where the story probably needed. Like the whatever is gonna be the next iteration of Venom, that story probably needed a lot more time than the first 2 movies, because now you introducing other characters, other universes. Y'all needed to take y'all time with that, with whatever was supposed to be coming. And I thought that's what they were doing. To hear that it's coming out next year, it's like it's really honestly, it's kind of disappointing.
So we're getting Madam Web February 16th next year, Deadpool July 26th. Oh snap, that's DreamCon.
Yeah, darn it, that'd be fire.
Bruh.
That'd be fire. I'll go see it during DreamCon. I tell a whole group of people. We can make friends that way.
We
Hey, a
out.
bunch of y'all want to go see? Yeah, a bunch of y'all want to go see? We already here. We already nerdy. A bunch of y'all want to go see Deadpool? Like,
Bruh, that
word.
theater's
We can
gonna
make
be
friends
packed,
that
though.
way.
That theater gonna be packed. We
Yeah,
ain't gonna be able to get
that's- It'd be perfectly fine.
Venom
It'd
3.
be perfectly fine. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the whole move right there. Rob over there know what I'm talking about. About to be the whole smooth right there. Oh, we about to use Deadpool. Deadpool about to help slide these numbers and them panties. Right there. Yep. I said it.
I'll just be sitting in the back.
I'm excited. I'm
I'm-
excited.
Yeah, that's y'all.
That's not me.
That's y'all. That's you now. Me and Rob, we gonna be in the corner somewhere.
I'm excited because I'm telling you, Rob, know I'm real low key and calm too. I don't be wanting to do all the club shit. This is the ballpark where I actually will get lit, because it's not
You
going
still
to a
doing the
club or a
clubs,
bar.
You still
No,
doing
no,
clubs.
it'd be fine, but it ain't. That ain't gonna be the
hey,
like. That's the
Rob.
thing that's gonna be great about it is it's not gonna be the
Hey, Rob.
focus.
They
Hey,
come
Rob.
dressed. They come dressed exactly
Hey,
how they.
hey,
how
Rob.
they is.
Oh, I believe you.
Hey
I
Rob,
believe you.
I'm gonna let you know now. Future reference. I'm gonna outdance you. You know I will.
All right. On that note, going through hysteria right now.
Oh, I'm
hysteria.
excited.
Oh,
We
I'm
appreciate
excited.
y'all again. Episode 5 wrapped up in the books. We went over a lot of topics today. Sad our good brother Derek was not able to make it, but he should be able
Yeah.
to come back the next episode. But thank you again for coming with us. We got Krako's Corner over there. I got it this time. Niall,
Finally.
you can find all of his social medias at Krako's Corner. He also has a podcast as well that hosts on a myriad of topics such as mental maintenance, all of that other jazz as well. We got
Yeah.
T Smooth 24 down below. He has his own Twitch account where he streams all sorts of different games, horror games, shooters, fighters, anything that you will want. He streams it. Peep that. I'm Sage. You can catch me at Legend of Sage on Twitch as well. We'll have the YouTube very shortly with the channel. I'm kind of tossing up whether to just add it to my YouTube channel or just creating a new one. But regardless of that, once we have all of that information, we'll keep y'all up to date. Thank y'all again for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.